Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us as we track Cyclone Gita as it tracks just south of Fiji. And the Fiji MetService put out a statement at 7 o'clock this morning saying that it was now a Category 5 storm with central air pressure of 927 hectopascals. So it's quite a deep storm. You can see it here on the colorized satellite map. Fiji is just here and the upper North Island just to the south. In fact, Auckland is about 1,800 kilometres south of this storm at the moment. And speaking of Auckland and other parts of the upper North Island where it's been very tropical and humid lately, this is the water vapor map. You might have noticed that the humidity and the mugginess has just gone down a little bit, and that's because this very humid weather that was over us yesterday has been pushed away by a southwest change. So it's just a little bit cooler, but it is still fairly muggy. There's nothing really big to blow it all away. So let's have a look at the animated wind map. Here's the storm and just south of Fiji. The swells from this system will now be just starting to come in towards the New Zealand area, maybe 1.5 metre swells from the northeast. They could be getting up to 3 metres by Sunday as the storm tracks into the Tasman Sea. But there's not a lot of wind around the country. That's why the weather isn't changing too much. We're sort of stuck under a bit of cloud and humidity in the north, but in the south there is a little bit of a westerly change there that will help move things through a bit, but it'll also bring in just a little bit of rain. And you can see that there on Thursday. There's one of the cold fronts. There are a couple coming in over the next couple of days. The winds are a little bit brisk through the mountains, especially from the west. That will lift up the temperatures in the east though, and just a few showers remaining around the upper North Island and the eastern side, mainly out at sea, but it will brush land. But it does look a lot drier by the time we get into Thursday. By Friday, you can see another front coming into the south. That'll bring in a bit of rain for a time later into Southland. Otherwise, it is still fairly dry. A little bit windy again through the mountains, a little bit of rain or shower activity up the west coast, and the North Island is mostly dry. There could still be a couple of showers here and there. To Saturday, and a bit more rain goes up the west coast and a few drizzle patches and showers in the north. Otherwise, there's not really a lot going on Saturday. It's still a fairly dry day, but you can start to see the low developing to the north. And on Sunday, the nor'easters start to come in, which means the humidity is going back up again. The clouds are thickening up again, and we'll start to see some showers developing. The swells will be coming in quite big to the upper North Island by the end of Sunday. And then once we get into Monday, it starts to look pretty ominous. We're pretty confident that this storm is going to make landfall in New Zealand next week, sometime around Tuesday and Wednesday. The models are not agreeing, but it is looking likely, and it was good to see today that both NIWA and MetService are also saying what we said last week, that this storm is likely to be coming into the New Zealand area, and they're also saying wind and rain are looking quite likely. So we do think a storm's coming in next week, and the rain could be pretty heavy. That's the concern with this. Now the timing and the precise areas that it hits, that's still up in the air. We've still got to wait a couple of more days because, as I said yesterday, the area with the damaging winds and the heaviest rain isn't as big even as the North Island. So you've got to kind of fine tune it once it gets closer to the time. But it does look quite likely it's going to come in on the western side, somewhere from the upper South Island towards the upper North Island. And it could be a pretty wet and windy event as it comes through. So we'll give you all the info as we go through over the next couple of days and we fine tune it all. Until then, you can go to our website, weatherwatch.co.nz, Fiji MetService as well, and we'll keep you up to date with our daily news stories on our website and free app. Our next video will be out on Thursday.